Jorge Hernandez. Mr. Hernandez, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. Second offense, you're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you.
Officers observed the defendant failed to signal and initiated a traffic stop in Harris County, Texas. The officers observed the defendant to have glassy eyes and an odor of alcohol. Standard field sobriety tests were conducted. HGM 6 out of 6, walk and turn 0 out of 8, one leg stand 2 out of 4. The DIC was read and the defendant completed the arrest. The results were .086 and .086.
You said, what was the stop?
The stop was failing to signal.
Mr. Hernandez, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. Are you a United States citizen? You have a Texas driver license?
Yes.
License. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or any kind of illegal drugs, I'm going to put you in jail. I am now placing another restriction on your driver's license. You are not allowed to drive any vehicle that is not equipped with an ignition interlock. If you're caught driving a vehicle that doesn't have an interlock, likewise, I will revoke your bond, put you in jail. You understand?
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Que vi aquí que tengo por segundo y es mi primer DWI.
I saw here that I was charged as a second, but it's my first DWI.
You're charged with a second DWI.
Está acusado como segundo.
So you need a lawyer and that your lawyer can help you out if you think that's a mistake. I don't know, but that's not what I'm not here to do that right now. But when you need a lawyer and your lawyer can go to bat for you on that regard. What I know now is that you're charged with a second offense. As a result, on all second offenses, we put an ignition interlock on you. If you're caught driving a vehicle that doesn't have an interlock, I'm telling you, you're going to go to jail. We will give you a couple days to get it on, but don't drive any vehicle that doesn't have an interlock. Do you understand?
Okay.
Also, no, don't consume alcohol or illegal drugs. So for now, I'm going to have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. After that, you'll get with pre-trial for your bond conditions, and then we're going to get you out of here to hire a lawyer. Don't sit and wait for a lawyer because there's a lot of timing requirements with the DWI. I would talk to a lawyer immediately about your case. You understand? Okay, please.
Javier Miran, Judge. And Judge, I did speak.
It was sent to me and the signature removed on the bottom, so I can send it to you quickly. Deputy, can you help him? He needs to go to the jury's office.
And Judge, I did speak with the state judge. This is charged as a second. He had a first charge of DWI out of Oklahoma in 2001, which was pled down to their equivalent to a reckless driving. I spoke to them. They're going to get an investigator to search it up because they couldn't find it on CCH. But just letting the court know that they charged it as a second, but it should be coming back as a first. Yes, Judge.
Mr. Mayor, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. Second offense, you're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. On October 12, 2024, officers were dispatched in reference to a traffic hazard in Harris County, Texas. The officer observed the defendant's vehicle parked on the east side of the highway with the front end facing west. The officer observed the defendant, the driver and sole occupant, to be asleep with the engine on. The officer knocked on the defendant's side window and gave the order to exit the motor vehicle. The defendant stated he was on Interstate 35, operated his motor vehicle on the roadway, had 4 beers, and was coming from a concert in the Woodlands. The officer observed a moderate odor of an alcoholic beverage, bloodshot eyes, slurred speech, disorientation, sluggishness, an unzipped zipper, and the officer later observed a large pool of urine in the rear seat of the patrol vehicle, and the defendant had a wet stream going down his pant legs. The standard field sobriety tests were administered, HGN 6 out of 6, walk and turn 3 out of 8, a one-leg stand 3 out of 4. The defendant was read the DIC and refused breath. A blood search warrant was obtained and executed.
Mr. Mayor, and I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. Do you have a valid Texas driver license?
I do, Your
Run
Honor.
his license, please.
Oh, my God.
Do you have valid liability insurance in your name? Okay, I'm now placing a restriction on your driver's license that you're not allowed to drive any vehicle that doesn't have an ignition interlock on it. If you're caught driving a vehicle that doesn't have an interlock, I'm going to put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bonds. Likewise, I'm ordering you not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or any kind of drugs, you will go to jail.
Yes, Your Honor.
Understand?
Yes, I do.
Your Honor, he's eligible.
Great. Because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance, but you must stay in touch with counsel and they will tell you if and when you have to come back to court. They tell me they can't get a hold of you because you're playing games. I will issue a warrant for your arrest.
Absolutely,
You
Your
pick
Honor.
up a new charge, violate conditions, no more PR bonds.
I understand.
Okay, all right. Bye, guys. Stephen, I need your help. Mr. Cormier, right?
Yes, sir.
You have 2 felony warrants for your arrest now. 2 felony warrants for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, 1 for aggravated assault of a family member, 1 for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. You've made bond on our interference case, but looks like they just filed on 10/10, which was about 8 days ago, 2 felony assault cases. So we have to take you into custody. You do have a lawyer coming today?
Yes.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to verify that the warrants are valid. If they are valid, I have to take you into custody. You're being held at that right now at no bond. So at some point you'll get in front of a magistrate and I don't know if they'll set you a bond, but I'll have you talk to your lawyer today as well. Okay? Goes with you. That. What is his name again?
Mr. Cormier is the last name.
It's the 248, Your Honor.
Is that Unger? Since you guys are here, do you want me to just have her sign it?
I would prefer
No.
her to read it and see if she's gonna get to PC or not on the case.
Well, that, I meant,
Yeah.
of course, that's what I meant.
Yes.
Like, because for her to read the 2B, to sign it, whether she's going to or not, since you're here.
I mean, they're in
Because-
trial right now. That's the other issue. So like I've been up there.
You see, it looked like Mr. Cormier has 2 felony warrants for an ag assault and ag assault with a deadly weapon, but they haven't been signed.
Interesting. When did they get filed?
10/10. Today's 18th, so they've been pending for,
I don't know what to say.
you mind bringing him out?
He's in the box.
Come up, Mr. Cormier. I mean, I'm showing the ag assault is active though.
Because in the system, it will show that because it was filed, but the actual arrest warrant has not been signed by a judge establishing that there's probable cause for his arrest.
Judge, in J.A.s, it doesn't reflect the open.
And he actually got arrested and they let him out of jail because of this issue. And the magistrate obviously reviewed that
Crazy.
as well.
I mean,
Yeah.
This is,
Judge, we're gonna contact Intech to see what the issue may or may not be at this point. Hold up, we're doing that right now.
while you guys are doing that, we're gonna do probable cause in our case. Mr. Cormier, you're charged with interference with the duties of a public servant. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present if you cannot afford one. One will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. On February 4th, 2024, officers conducted a traffic stop for the defendant failing to signal when changing lanes. The officer made contact with the defendant and told him why he was pulled over. The officer identified him with his driver's license and ran the defendant and discovered the defendant had multiple warrants. The officer asked the defendant to step out of the vehicle multiple times, but the defendant continued to ask why. The officer told the defendant if he did not comply, he would be removed from the vehicle, which the defendant replied, "I guess we can try that shit." The defendant eventually stepped out of the vehicle, but the officer attempted to detain him and the defendant kept pulling his hands away from the officers and kept trying to turn around so the officers could not place handcuffs on him. The officer eventually detained the defendant and walked him over to the patrol vehicle, but the officers had to use force to get the defendant inside the back of the unit due to the defendant using his body and the door frame to actively push away from the patrol unit.
What happened with the felony cases? I'd like to know how dangerous of a person Mr. Cormier is.
Yes, Your Honor. We have on October 9th, 2024, the officers were dispatched to a shooting call at a residence. The officers met with the complainant, who stated he got into an argument with the defendant that turned into a fight. The next day, the complainant got into an argument with the defendant's father that turned into a fight, but that was later reconciled. The defendant, however, was still angry and told the complainant that he wanted to fight, pulled a pistol out of his waistband, pointed at the complainant, and discharged the pistol. The shot missed and the defendant—
Discharged a pistol pointing at someone?
Yes, Your Honor. And then following the shot missing, the defendant ran away, and a 3-year-old child was in the vicinity of the complainant where the shot was pointed at, and the mother is a witness to the events.
Is that part and parcel with the deadly weapon as well, or is that a different?
It is— one moment, Your Honor. It's part and parcel, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Cormier, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case in our case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to have any contact with the complaining witness in this case and not to be in possession of weapons. You have a Texas driver license. You are not allowed to drive. If I find that you drive, I will have a contempt hearing. You'll be facing an additional 6 months. I'm going to have you sign an affidavit with me today promising you're not going to drive. Do you understand? If you want to drive, go get a license, get liability insurance, and then I can take this off. But until that point, do not drive. I'm also ordering you not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs, and I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or any kind of dope, I'm going to put you in jail. Do you understand? Let me make something perfectly clear to you. I'm going to do everything in my power to protect every person of Harris County. If I find that you become a danger, I'm going to revoke your bond and I'm going to make it sky high. Do you understand?
So,
On this affidavit, I'm also going to have that you are not to be in possession of any weapons. If I find that you have a weapon, likewise, I will have a contempt hearing. Do you understand? So I don't know what's going to happen now. I want to see what they say first about, because Mr. Levine, he scares me.
You did that, it's
You
just
know.
at this point in time, there is no warrant.
I get it, but I don't know what,
Holding him in a courtroom with no warrant is kind of my issue with it, if that makes sense.
I get it. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to send him for a drug test. I want to know what, if anything, he has in his system, and then I'm going to have him come right back.
Okay.
You need to go take a drug test right now, and then you must come back. If you fail to go take the drug test, if you fail to come back, I'm going to issue a warrant for your arrest. And I'm going to tell you now, no more PR bonds. Do you understand? Okay. Come on.
Page 7, Ely, E-A-L-Y.
Oh, Lord. Ms. Ely, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. You have a lawyer today?
No, I thought I off, what's it called, a public defender, but I don't know.
Take a seat for me at the jury box, man. Gentlemen, both of you are charged with racing on a highway. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you.
Officers observed 5 to 6 cars traveling at a high rate of speed and chasing each other on a freeway in Harris County, Texas. The officer observed 4 cars in each of the 4 lanes matching each other's speed approximately 50 miles per hour until they were aligned. And then the 2 cars in the middle took off at a high rate of speed at approximately 100 miles per hour. A traffic stop was initiated on defendant Earl's vehicle. During the traffic stop, officer observed that the entirety of the inside of the vehicle was removed except the driver's seat. Defendant Earl admitted to participating in the race. Another officer conducted a traffic stop on the other participating car. That occupant also admitted to participating in a drag race.
You said there were happening to the other 2.
Your Honor, there are no other connected cases, just the 2.
Got it. Mr. Earl, this is your 2nd racing case. I am now taking away your privilege to drive. You will be signing an affidavit with me today, promising me you're not going to drive. And if I find that you drive, I will have a contempt hearing. You'll be facing an additional 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you get into a car and drive. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do not drive. I don't care what you're doing in your life. I don't care where you have to go, what you have to do. I now also am sending you for a drug test. I want to know what, if anything, is in your system, and then you're to come right back. If I find that you don't take the test, if you don't come back, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Take a seat.
I do have a question. May I have a reset to hire my attorney? I wasn't able to hire him today.
We will get there.
Okay.
First things first, I'm sending you for a drug test because I want to know what, if anything, is in your system. But first, you'll come up here and swear to us that you're not going to drive. Mr. Flores, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm going to tell you now, living in a city as big as Houston without the ability to drive, it's an awful thing. Do not participate in these types of things again. Otherwise, I will take your privilege to drive away from you. Do you understand? You will be signing conditions with me today, promising me that you're not going to race, street takeovers, donuts, reckless driving, any of the like. If I find that you do, I'm going to put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bonds. Do you understand? Okay. Can you file conditions on both of their cases?
Yes, Your Honor.
Racing and the like? Yeah. All right. I'm going to have you go over, could you check for both of the licenses to see if do you have a Texas driver license? Do you have liability insurance in your name? Okay, if you can run both of their licenses as well.
Yes, Your Honor.
So for now, I'm going to have you sign a reset with Victoria. After that, we'll have you take a seat in the jury box while we get your bond conditions. We'll have you sign it, and then you'll be free to go. When you come back, please have a lawyer, sir.
I have a lawyer.
Oh,
Yeah.
who is it?
David Lee.
Got it. Okay. Mr. Lee's going to be here, so we're going to have you wait till he gets here. So we'll have you sign a reset, take a seat in the jury box. Do not leave until you sign the bond conditions.
Okay. Your Honor, Flores is eligible. Let me run. Earl, please.
Alexis Gutierrez. Mr. Gutierrez, you're charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. You're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
On October 11th, 2024, officers conducted a traffic stop on the defendant's motor vehicle at an intersection after observing it with an expired registration. Upon contact with the defendant advised he had a firearm in the vehicle. Officers located the firearm in the cup holder in plain view of the center console, unholstered.
Okay. What was the stop for again? I missed it.
The stop for was expired registration.
Got it. All right. Mr. Gutierrez, how old are you, sir?
22.
What do you do for a living?
I own my own mobile detailing business.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you have a Texas driver license? Do you have valid liability insurance in your name?
The vehicle is not registered to my name. It's my dad's.
Do you have car insurance in your name?
Not under my name.
If you don't have car insurance in your name, you cannot drive.
Understand?
I'm making that a condition of your bond, and I'm ordering you not to be in possession of a weapon as well. Do you understand? As long as you can abide by these conditions, you and I will be fine. But if I find that you drive in violation of this court order, then I'm going to put you in jail. How much money do you make a month?
I'm making right now, since I'm new to this business, I'm only making around $300 a week. So that's $1,200 a month.
And who do you live with? You think you can afford a lawyer, sir?
I do have a lawyer.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
Who's your lawyer?
It's, if you let me pull out the files there on my phone.
Sure. Let me see if he's, oh, hey, hi, David.
Hey, how are you doing?
So he doesn't have car insurance and I was not going to let him drive until he has car insurance in his name. I'd also ordered him not to be in possession of weapons. He's a 22-year-old kid.
Okay.
Those are the only conditions. And once you get car insurance, show me that you have car insurance, we'll allow you to drive. All I'm asking you to do is follow the law. Just get car insurance, it's in your name, and then we'll take the restriction off. If you can get it today, I'll take it off today. Okay, so, call your folks or whatever you need to do, or whoever pays for the insurance. If they can add you now, I'll take the restriction off now.
Okay, thank you.
You've got a great lawyer. Listen to Mr. Bresson. He'll take care of you. I will waive your appearance, so you don't have to waste your time coming to court, but you have to stay in touch with them, and they'll tell you when you have to come back to court. Do you have any questions?
No, sir. That'll be-
Stay out of trouble. Don't pick up any new cases. Okay?
Thank you.
All right, let me just do this real quick and then we'll have you sign it and then you guys are on your own.
Oh, wait, 1 second.